What's going on, everybody? It's Colten here with another Chalkboard Podcast, another solo one. Computer's still down. Don't worry about that. What we're going to be talking about today, going to jump into it real quick. NASA just apparently landed and is getting their first sample off an asteroid. Think of that. It launched in 2016, actually. So it's 2020, about to be 2021. So it's damn near took 4 years for us to get to an asteroid in deep space to take a dirt and soil sample and bring it back. 4 fucking years. It's crazy. Picture looks dope. Apparently there's this picture of the sampler coming down on like the surface of the asteroid. Asteroid looks massive, by the way. Looks like, you ever seen that, oh man, what's that one movie where they go up and there's like the whole crew and they land on the asteroid? Is it called Asteroid? I don't know, and they gotta like blow up the asteroid or something before it hits Earth or some shit like that. Armageddon. That might be Armageddon. Good movie. Might not be the actual name, but if you know what I'm talking about, good ass movie. But massive asteroid, right? So it's taking a sample. I guess they're trying to figure out or just answer questions on space and how life began on Earth. More yada yada, bullshit, because you all know NASA. That's right. Get into conspiracies. NASA is the cover face for motherfucking America. It's like, yo, this is what we're doing in space. This is what we're going to show the people. All right? Because military term, government term, we are on a need-to-know basis. Okay? And what we don't need to know, we don't need to know. All right? And yeah, what do you need to know right now? In the midst of all this bullshit, we're probing a fucking asteroid right now. 4 years in the making. $800 million. That's how much it's cost. $800 million fucking dollars. To go and probe, take some soil from an asteroid, bring it back, and for us, some scientists, to look at it as some dirt from space. I wonder what it looks like. But would I pay $800 million to find out what dirt from space looks like? That's what gets me, is they just took like a portion of our tax money and was like, let's let them think that they're finally getting some dirt from space when we've got dirt from Mars. We can get dirt from fucking, probably an asteroid closer. I don't imagine it's the only fucking asteroid. Like, there's gotta be asteroid belts out there. Everyone will see Star Wars, come on, Star Trek, motherfucking Lost in Space. The TV show, the movie, way better, okay? Come on now, $800 million. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Amazon, that dude, he's coming up with a fucking rocket. They did a test launch, like their 8th test launch, like a week ago? The owner of Amazon, his shit, he's coming up with a rocket. Elon Musk is coming up with rockets. And speaking of that, remember I was just talking shit on the last podcast about where was fucking Elon Musk's self-driving cars? Guess what he announced? Elon Musk, if you're watching my podcast, you heard my prayers, right? But I guess Tesla finally announced that they're going to start bringing out their full self-driving cars in very slow and very safe doses. Don't know what that means, but hey, that was an article today, literally today. I was looking through it and I was like, damn. Want to know what I talked to in one of my last podcasts? Self-driving cars and how Elon Musk was slacking. GMC got self-driving cars in California. Where's Tesla? Just driving on a highway with some dude behind the driver's seat. Nope, GMC's got no one in the car now. That's crazy, man. Back to space, though. $800 million to get on a fucking asteroid and get some dirt. They best find something cool. If it's a waste of money, they just won't tell you. It's a cover face, though. It's what like the soccer mom and the working guy and the kid gets to see on the news. You know what I mean? Like, oh, launching 4 dudes into space, But yeah, we got an Air and Space Force. Yeah, because officially now Donald Trump named it, but it's been in the works for years. My dad's been talking about the Air and Space Force since, like, I was born. telling me how that it was going to become that one day. And then boom, one day, Donald Trump finally puts the pin on it. What does it mean? I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? But is the Air Force, is the government probably doing something in space we don't know about? Why wouldn't they be? They got Black Hawk helicopters with no marks on them, and they be doing spec op stuff on Earth. Why aren't they doing stuff in space that we don't know about? Just saying, it's not that crazy to think. Not saying they're like flying around to different planets meeting aliens. It's not like Star Trek, Star Wars up in that shit. That'd be hard to hide. You know what I mean? Like, you could maybe pull it off. Like a Men in Black situation. You know, like guy goes down the elevator, poof. There's a map showing you where all these people are hiding up in. And you know what? Maybe that's just true, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about space and where our government's at. Because I think they're farther than what they put out to be. For sure. For sure. There's not... Listen. There's nothing wrong with thinking the government's lying to you. Because they're lying to you. That's... Hey, government lying? Yeah, they're lying. They're fucking lying. That's it. Alright? 2012, they took away the Anti-Propaganda Act. Look it up. That act kept the government from being able to lie to you. They took it away. That means they're lying. That doesn't mean, hey, we're not lying. You can trust us. We're going to just remove this law saying we can't lie to you anymore. So we, can lie, but we don't. You know what I mean? Like, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. Even like you're in the military. You go in, right? You get a secret clearance. There's a top secret clearance. Then there's like 9 levels of top secret clearance, right? So if you got a secret clearance and you're just chilling, right? And you go walking up and he's like, you ain't got clearance for this. You're like, why? What's in there? He's not going to tell him, first off, because motherfucker don't need to know, right? Because it's on a need-to-know basis. It's the same with civilians. We're on a lower pedestal. We ain't even got a secret clearance. We got like a civilian clearance. Not even allowed on the base. You know what I mean? Like, we should have stormed Area 51. That should have actually happened. No one came out of it. I'm not saying there ain't nothing there, but storming the wrong part. Area 51's built up in sectors. And that like little airstrip base you looking at, they ain't doing jack diddly swat. They got them roads that lead into mountains. Inside them mountains is where they're doing shit. That's where shit's going on. Like Sector 7. We all know about Sector 7. If you ain't heard about Sector 7, you're slacking. Big shit on Sector 7. If it's true or not, whatever. It's there though. You know what I mean? And the government ain't said nothing to you. But if the government is always telling the truth, why ain't this guy telling the truth? Because he worked for the government. You know what I mean? Makes sense. He's the government, right? They don't lie. Everything they say is truthful, which is completely wrong. So I think this whole, like I said, NASA, that's all figurehead. They just need to quit blowing our tax money on it. Because honestly, I care less about NASA, what they're doing. I thought they defunded NASA. But apparently they're still doing shit. Maybe it's because it's been up there for 4 years since before it was defunded. They just got a couple loose ends they reeling in or something. Like aliens. Or UFO, because an alien isn't a little green guy. That's not what I mean. Alien is someone that's not from this Earth. Because there's probably multiple different worlds with people on them. Because if there's one of us and there's an infinite galaxy, we ain't the anomaly in the galaxy with people on it, just to let y'all know. If we are, holy shit, that's special. But even if God, first off, God ain't from here. So even if he's creating these planets for the people, why would he only create one planet when he has the power to create multiple, right? So it even goes with religion, just saying. But you see them videos that light, right? It's like boom, it just takes off the opposite direction. Where it just like comes down, skips. Or like those big balls in the Marianas Trench when they did that sonar scan, those 3 domes that were miles long or in diameter. They're like 10 miles in diameter. They're huge domes, but we couldn't even go down there because the pressure's so big. Imagine if we had some in the center of your car. Let's say your car, right? you have something in the center of your car, and it's just fucking just getting shit, right? It's creating this two mushroom-headed thing. It's basically creating what Earth creates, which is gravity. So it's creating this force of gravity around the area that it's creating it in. So say my head's the car, right? So then it creates it, and it gets to the point where, so there's its own gravity inside this area, right? So then you can technically stop on a dime and shoot the other way, because you're, I'm forgetting the scientific name for this, but you're defying Earth's gravity, because you're your own gravity, you're your own centrifugal force, right? I think that's how you would say that. So then, technically, pressure under the ocean wouldn't even affect you, right? Because you're creating your gravity. Water probably wouldn't even be in there because the gravity's pushing it out, right? So the gravity's creating a force, and the water's creating a force. So then that's making a barrier, right? So then you could zip all over the place. You can go as deep as you want. You could have dome cities, like an alien or something that's observing us might have had. Listen, I'm just talking about theory here, right? So say one of those aliens, maybe went down in the 50s, 60s, maybe one of them got hauled off to a place called Sector 7 off of Area 51. Maybe we actually did have flying saucers with American flags on them in hangars there, that'd be crazy. But is it so hard to believe? That's the question. Because you're never going to get actual proof from the government about anything. They're politicians, first off. And then the higher ups, you don't even know who they are. So you call the elite, I guess, is what's been going around with the kids these days, right? So then they got their own thing going on, right? They got these flying saucers. They're probably out in space already. Like Mars, I wouldn't doubt it if we've been on Mars. Right? They haven't told us yet, but maybe they're waiting to tell us, because maybe they're discovering life on Mars. And I'm not necessarily meaning people, because they already did discover life, microscopic life. So maybe they're there on Mars trying to figure out what this microscopic life are, and they're just not ready for us to know. They're not ready for the pressure of the whole world looking down on them. That makes sense almost, right? If you were someone in power where whole millions of people are looking at you, right? And you go, we're on Mars, we're trying to see what this life is, we'll keep you up to date. Now they got to keep, 14 trillion people up to date, however many people. Or they could just go there, not say anything, and then once they're done using all this technology they have and they move up, then we get it, right? Like cell phones. Are we the first ones to have the cell phones? Or did the military have a telephone first? A cell phone style thing? Or what's a good one? Walkie-talkies. WD-40. WD-40 was invented in the military. It was invented on naval vessels for missile silos. It stands for water displacement, and the 40 came from the 40th attempt that they made the serum. There's nothing fancy about it. They sprayed it on the missiles and put it in the fucking thing. Kept it from lubing up. Then a couple fucking scientists started taking it home and spraying it on squeaky hinges. And then boom, patented fucking WD-40 out on the market, making federal bucks all day. I don't know if the guy that created it patented it, or technically it's his, but he was working for the military. That was created for the military first, and then we got it. That's how that is. When the people that are protecting you want the best of the best, you give them it first. You know what I mean? You can't be like, oh, hey, boys, listen up. I'm going to send y'all over to Nam. Y'all are going to go shoot him up, right? With guns from fucking the Civil War. instead of getting M16s. Because we had to give all our M16s to the civilians because they all wanted them shits too. And there's a lot more to civilians than there is enlisted man. So, but we want to give them that first. So here, take this M14 carbine from fucking World War II and go shoot them up, right? Which I'm pretty sure the M14 carbine was actually a gun used in Vietnam, carried over. But you get my point, right? So the military is going to get everything first. The government's going to have everything first. Donald Trump survived COVID in 4 days. He's 73 and fat. That's right, I said it. He was 73, 74, and he's fat. He ain't that healthy. You can't sit here and tell me Donald Trump's able to run a half a mile, sorry. No, he's the president of the United fucking States. They threw everything at the book in him. Not just the shit they're throwing at us too. They gave Donald Trump shit that they ain't giving us civilians. Bet your ass. 4 days, he kicked it. Kicked it. Like it was fucking nothing. Hell, Florida, they're down there walking around like they don't even know what COVID is. Shit's opened up like a motherfucker. It's crazy. Four fucking days, motherfucker, kick that shit. I'm not even a big, person into COVID. Personally, I think a lot of this COVID shit will end after the election. If you know what I mean. But, any election, man, that's coming up. We got 2 horrible presidents running. One that is about to raise taxes on the middle class named Biden, if he gets in. Literally, just new policy, today, is his tax thing or whatever is coming at the middle class. So if you're middle class, be ready for some taxes to raise if he gets in. Donald Trump, he ain't had no bad policies. Motherfucker just don't know how to talk to people, so he pisses everybody off. And he don't know how to talk. He needs to stay off Twitter. I'll tell you that. Everybody needs to stay off Twitter. Back in the day, Twitter came out, real long time ago. Twitter's been around a long ass time. And it used to be used for so-and-so's eating pizza right now. Oh, I'm eating some pizza, Now it's used for political debating and fucking everything else in the world. There's this new documentary out talking about social media and everything like that. And I haven't watched all of it. I watched a couple, 15, 20 minutes of it today on break. I'm definitely going to peep the whole thing because it was real interesting. The peep part I watched was them talking about the analytics and how Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that brings up stuff on your feed, your For You page, right? So your news and stuff. So basically, what it wants you to do is it's gonna put the stuff on there that you're probably gonna share or comment on the most, right? And most likely in today's society, apparently 90% of the people will comment and dislike technically it's still a like you put that bad face on there that or something like that, that's still giving it attention, that's still going to put it out there more. Apparently people do that more to shit they don't like, right? So you're a Trump, you hate Trump, your Facebook, all it's going to have is shit about hating Trump because you don't like Trump. So you're most likely going to share and like that shit, right? But if you like Biden, you probably aren't going to see a whole bunch of Biden stuff. Probably going to see very little Biden stuff because you're not going to like and share that as much as you would like and share the dumb shit you see about Trump, right? Or say, for instance, someone's scrolling through Facebook and they see a video of some 19-year-old boy getting reintroduced from his family he was lost from at birth or some crazy emotional shit, right? You'll probably watch it, but sometimes you'll share it, sometimes you might like it, but the census is that most of the time you won't like or comment on that one, but you scroll down to a video of somebody abusing a dog, you're probably going to share it, write a strongly worded message on top of it, and some douchebag who thinks abusing a dog is correct, because it's not, by the way, is going to try and comment on it, and then it just sparks debate. That's all it is. It's this way people give out emotions, and it's not healthy, man. I don't even think I want to get off Facebook and shit so bad, but I use it so much for I don't honestly not as much. I use it to share my YouTube and stuff like that, and I like Marketplace. I scroll Marketplace. Other than that, though, I don't scroll my feed. Very rarely do I. I help Riley post stuff. I barely see Riley's posts. You go and look at like her recent posts. There's probably some recent posts of me on Riley's page right now that I haven't commented or liked. Probably the only reason I have seen it is probably because she showed it to me off her phone. So. And then they were talking about banning TikTok. And then that stopped. The whole ban on TikTok was crazy because, like, I get it. It's just social media. We shouldn't be banning social media. It's not what, government should be worried about at the moment, right? We got some pretty big shit going on. But at the end of the day, China is taking all our information. Our government does have a duty to technically protect us from that kind of shit, Like, that's a foreign government trying to steal all your information. Like, you shouldn't want that either. Right? But I'm not saying we need to ban TikTok, but we need to get this figured out, right? Okay? But then also, like, I got TikTok. I go on TikTok here and there. There's a couple funny people that are on there. But, like, you go scroll that page, you see some stuff where it's like, first off, you're underage, and you're showing your dancing off in a way you don't need to be. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know who's sitting here scrolling down this. You don't know who's sitting here liking this shit like that. So, and I get it. There's adults on TikTok as well. But, like, you see something and it's like, bro, girl, you're 13. You look 13 years old. Calm down. Where's your parents at? And it's so hard for parents to control now because you fucking turn 8 years old. Well, you turn 3, you're already on a tablet. If you're not 3 years old and on a tablet nowadays, something's wrong. I hate it, but that's how it is. And then if you're not fucking 6 and you don't know how to use your mom's iPhone normally, there's something wrong. And if you're not 9 and you don't have a smartphone off the rip, first off, I was in middle school when I got my first phone, and it was a flip phone, a blocky ass flip phone, right? And then I got one of those Blackberries, and I had a Razor. And I love my Razor, dude. I had that shit had an MP3 player on the front. This shit was fire, right? Kids these days, first phone out the box, you can play fucking Xbox games off of it if you want. What? I never had no Call of Duty mobile growing up. I didn't have no fucking phone app games to go play. You know what my game had on it? My phones? And it had like some cheap ass fucking, what was that, like Bomber Guard or fucking whatever that stupid ass game was, and Solitary. Stupid, right? Now these kids no. And I get it, like, hey, some of the games are good for the brain, right? You can get some good learning games, but they ain't gonna want to do that. They're gonna want to go and watch YouTube at 8 years old and watch some kid play Minecraft for 14 fucking hours and fry his brain. Like, I don't know, I had a PlayStation 2 growing up, and I didn't even have it. It was my brother's PlayStation 2. I got to play when my dad got off work, and us 3 sat down for an hour and played PlayStation 2. We couldn't even sit down and do that. We went outside. We were playing basketball. We were doing all this fun shit outside. That don't happen no more. It just don't happen like it used to, man. Like, I bet you could go up to some 8, 9, 10-year-olds, ask them what Smear the Queer is. Some of them might not even know. King of the Hill, not even know. You know what I mean? Like, so much different shit, bro, that was played back in the day that just, I don't feel like ever is. And it might still be some places. That's awesome. But there's just so much technology nowadays. Like, I had a PlayStation 2, corded controllers, no battery, wireless connected, no online, no, I had PlayStation 2, Call of Duty Big Red 1, Mortal Kombat, you know what I mean? Like, even if you were playing a game, your buddy was over, you were socializing, and 9 times out of 10, that game gets real old because it's not huge. These games were small. It's PlayStation 2, it's Xbox, the original. Not Xbox 360, I'm talking just Xbox, the black one, with the big green X on top. That one. Like, those games were small. They didn't have a lot of content in them. They weren't really online. I think Call of Duty 3 had an online that no one really played. You know what I mean? Like, there wasn't a lot of maps. There wasn't a lot of content. The graphics, to us, looked amazing back in the day. But to me, 15 years later, they're trash, right? I have a VR. I have an Oculus Quest VR system. 15 years after PlayStation 2. That's it. Just that jump is crazy. Because when my dad was like 20, maybe 15, 10, 15, he had like Pong and Atari, right? And then when he 25 to 30 years later, well, 20 years later, 20 to 25 years later, there was PlayStation 2. Then Xbox 360. Now 30 years later, he has VR in his lifetime. That's crazy to think in one lifetime so far of somebody. We've went from Pong, doop, 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 this basic shit, right? That was crazy when it came out. That was like, oh man, that was so badass. The graphics of this ball, boo, just bouncing off these paddles, fire. So now you put something on your head and you can go into an online community with hands and you can walk around and you can go to a gun range if you want. You can play basketball, you can go sword fight, you can go play paintball. Like, what do you want to do? Like, what's your heart desire? You can go watch a movie in a movie theater in your own home in your bed, talking to other people, eating fake popcorn, whatever you want to do. There's just so much. And that's just in one lifetime. But yet, getting to space, apparently in NASA's mind, has been the same ever since. That's what I mean. I just wanted to tie that back in at the end. It's definitely changed, and they just haven't said anything. But it's cool, yo. Took a sample of some asteroids. You know, I guess that's what we need in life. But hey, I'm going to go ahead and end this. A little cheers on some coffee and some whiskey. And other than that, guys, I hope you have a good one. Peace.